I missed my sister's cat's birthday party. It's her first child, too, my mom explained. I see, I said. The next day, she tried to charge $2,500 to my card. I blocked everything and blocked them all. My mom was crying, my sister was begging, my cat was meowing, and then I started to act. The day I realized that my family had abandoned me, I couldn't even pretend to be surprised. It all started with a text message from my sister Lucy, in which she wrote that she was looking forward to Whisker's first birthday. Of course, I knew she had a strange obsession with her cat, but what I didn't expect was the level of disrespect that followed. Lucy's message was clear: Whisker's birthday was scheduled for the same day as my baby shower. I had sent out the invitations months ago. I stared at the screen, not believing my eyes. "Are you serious?" I wrote back. "This is the day of my baby shower." Her response was infuriating. She sent 3 laughing emoticons. "Oh, completely out of line. But it's Whisker's first birthday, it only happens once." And just like that, my whole family preferred a cat's holiday to my first child. I called my mom, trying to contain my anger. "Mom, do you know that Lucy is throwing a huge party for her cat on the same day as my baby shower?" My mom, ever the peacemaker, sighed dramatically. "It's just a baby shower, honey. It's not that important. Besides, Whisker is family too." I felt a fire start inside me. Whisker's family? I didn't know whether to laugh or scream. I was furious, but part of me still believed there was hope. Maybe if I explained, they would come to their senses. So, I didn't cancel the party. Instead, I moved it to a different location, rented a small room, and even paid for everything myself. I sent out the invitations again, checked the responses again. Out of the 50 invitations I sent out, only 6 people came. One of them was a colleague of mine whom I barely knew. And the rest? They were all at Whisker's party, posting every detail online. Photos flooded my social media. My aunt filmed Whisker blowing out a candle on a cake with the words "1 year of purr" written on it. My cousins wearing identical t-shirts with the words "anti-cat" on them. My grandmother with a glass of wine, smiling, with cat ears. And I was sitting in a tiny cafe with a half-eaten Costco cake, surrounded by empty chairs, pretending that everything was fine. Hoping, for a split second, that someone would show up. But no one showed up. The next morning my phone rang. It was a message from my bank. I checked my statement, and there it was, an attempt to withdraw $2,500 for the Meow and Me photoshoot. I felt my stomach drop. And the worst part? It was my mom trying to call me. When I called her, she was more offended than apologetic. "What's the big deal? It's not like I'm buying a yacht. You always said you would help the family." I could hardly contain myself. I said I would help, not finance the cat's modeling career. I hung up the phone, shaking. It was over. I froze all my accounts, changed all my passwords, blocked all possible numbers. My mom called 12 times that night. Lucy wrote, "You are so cruel. Whisker didn't do anything wrong." She was right, Whisker hadn't done anything. But I did. And now they had to feel it. They had no idea what was coming. You know what's crazy? I was always the one who helped. I was the one who paid for everything. I was the one who lent money when my father was denied a loan. I bailed Lucy out when her car broke down. I paid for their vacations, food, bills. I never complained. But as soon as I got pregnant, I suddenly became selfish. I was the problem because I didn't involve Lucy more in the pregnancy. And all this time, Lucy acted as if I owed her. She had always wanted to be an aunt, she said, but when it came to a baby shower, she couldn't be bothered to show up. 2 weeks before the party, Lucy sent me a video of Whisker in a small tutu walking across a table covered in pastel balloons. The caption: "April 6th will be a big day. Significant." I stared at my phone, trying to make sense of it. Wait, April 6th? That's my baby shower. I texted her, "This is the day of my party." She replied with 3 more funny emoticons. "Oops, totally out of sync, Jen. But it's Whisker's first birthday, it only happens once." I couldn't believe it. I called my mom, trying to stay calm. "Mom, Lucy is throwing a huge party for her cat, and she's scheduled it for the day of my childhood party." Mom took a deep breath. "Honey, don't be so dramatic. Lucy is going through a lot right now." "A lot? She's throwing a party for a cat." But Mom didn't listen. "Whisker is her first child, too," she said, as if that made any sense. At that moment I realized it was over. I was alone. And yet I didn't cancel the party. I rescheduled it. I rented a room, did everything myself, and resent the invitations. And when the day came, out of the 50 people I invited, only 6 showed up. Everyone else was at Whisker's party. Not a single person sent even a card, let alone a gift. And Whisker? Whisker got a crystal Swarovski collar. And then? Then came the moment when I realized how deep it all went. My bank account? Emptied out. My emergency savings? Gone. I tracked down every withdrawal and found an account linked to Lila Whisker. My sister was siphoning off my savings and she didn't even have the decency to hide it. I took screenshots, labeled everything and froze the accounts. I posted a photo of my ultrasound with a caption, "This little person will grow up knowing that love does not come with conditions or matching tiaras." That night, Lila exploded. "You embarrassed my mom," she wrote. "We were counting on this order." It was a surprise for Whisker's birthday. She didn't even care about my feelings. She went on to say that my hormones made me reckless and that I owed her an apology. And just like that, I was done. They had gone too far. As soon as I saw that, it all came crashing down. My emergency savings, the account I opened the month I found out I was pregnant, was depleted. It wasn't just a few withdrawals from time to time, but weekly payments, one more egregious than the other. All of this was linked to a PayPal account under the name e.grace_Wiscombe, an elaborate pseudonym for Grace Whiskerman. More than $1,800 was already gone. I froze, staring at the screen, trying to figure out what was happening. I remembered the day Lila had used my laptop to check out recipes from Pinterest. She'd set it up herself, casually browsing the pages as if she had no idea what she was going to do. I should have known better. Without wasting a second, I took screenshots, tagged everything, and froze my accounts. Then I posted a story, a photo of my baby's ultrasound with a simple caption, "This little person will grow up knowing that love does not come with conditions, price tags, or matching tiaras." The storm was not over yet. That night, my mom knocked on my door, tears streaming down her face. "Emily hasn't eaten," she sobbed. "The financial stress is too much for her, it's damaging her mental health." And then, the most important thing. The drama over the baby shower, it tore our family apart. She handed me an envelope. Inside was a printed bill. Emily wanted to reimburse the costs of the cat's birthday party, the rental of the room, the cake, the decorations. The total amount? $4,127.65. Mom said this with a straight face. It was a great party. Emily deserves something. I couldn't believe my ears. Then she can sell Whisker's diamond collar, I replied, cold as ice. I handed her the envelope, my heart pounding, and walked her to the door. As she turned to leave, she muttered something that hit me like a freight train. "You can't give up on your family, Jenna." I stared at her. "Then I guess I've never been in it," I said, and slammed the door behind her. The next morning I found a voicemail from my father, his voice heavy with frustration. "You're hurting your mother, Jenna. This child is already turning you into someone cold. Be careful what you become." And that was it. I wasn't just hurting them. I finally stood up for myself. Emily then posted a photo of Whisker curled up in a baby carriage with the caption, "Still the only child who matters." I didn't flinch. They thought I would curl up, that I would cry and crawl back. They had no idea what would happen next. I was no longer the weak, obedient sister. I wasn't the one who did their bidding, the one who kept quiet while they took advantage. I had something they didn't count on: evidence. Not just screenshots and PayPal statements, but years of secrets. Audio, texts, emails, and a hard drive buried in the back of a drawer that I hadn't touched in years, but remembered what was on it. They thought I was silent, but now? Now I was going to turn the volume up. It was time for the meeting. The last meeting. The restaurant was too beautiful for what was about to happen. White tablecloths, jazz playing softly in the background, waiters gliding around in pressed shirts, filling glasses as if unaware of the explosion about to rock their world. Mom chose this place. A French bistro in the city center. She said it was neutral territory. She wanted peace, she said. I booked a private back room, because I wasn't there to put up with it. I wanted to make sure the walls would echo when I told the truth. They came in 10 minutes late, Mom in a cream sweater, her fake pearls glistening in the soft light. Dad, pouting like he still thought he ruled the room. Emily, full of drama, wearing large sunglasses despite the clouds outside, her face twisted into a fake innocent expression as if she were about to cry on cue. None of them greeted me or asked about the child. They sat down as if we were paying a bill. The silence between us was getting thicker by the second. I let it stretch until it became unbearable. Then, finally, my mom spoke. "Jenna, we just want to say, things have gotten out of hand. We never meant for it to go this far, but you were violent. There was nothing I could do." I tilted my head, smiling slightly. "Cruel? Like charging my card $2,500 for a cat photo shoot without asking?" Emily blinked in surprise. I already apologized for that. No, I snapped back. You got caught. Mom tried to intervene. We are here to move on, not to repeat old mistakes. But I was tired of being the one who always backed down. I pulled out my phone and tapped it twice. I put it on the table, and then there was a single beep. The speaker turned on. Emily's voice filled the room, loud and clear. Emily, it said, if Jenna knew how easy it is to withdraw money from her bank, she'd go crazy. But she's too busy knitting her nest to notice. The room fell silent. Emily's face turned pale. I was just letting off steam, she stammered. It was out of context. I didn't blink. Here's more context, I said, tapping the screen again. Emily, she's going to lift up another broken person and expect applause. You know she was crying because no one came to her baby shower like, sorry, your baby's not in trend, girl. I saw Dad's hands clench, and Emily looked like she was about to throw up. I leaned forward, my voice hard as steel. I wasn't planning on playing this, but then you accused me of lying. So no more silence. I reached into my bag, pulling out a hard drive. I placed it on the table, letting it hit the wood with a deliberate dull thud. Do you recognize this? Emily blinked. It's mine, she whispered, her voice cracking. I turned to my mom and dad. Remember when she said I hacked into her laptop and threatened her? How scared she was of me. They nodded slightly. I picked up the remote. I clicked it. A new screen appeared on the wall, a folder called Family. I opened it, and fake screenshots appeared one by one. Texts from me to Emily, photoshopped to make it look like I was threatening her. Audio recordings, her voice notes, edited to make me sound aggressive. How to make Jenna look irrational if she turns against me, was the title of the file. Emily threw herself across the table. You're violating my personal space, she screamed. I raised an eyebrow. You want to talk about privacy? I clicked again. A PayPal statement appeared, showing $1,847.22 taken from my account under shared products. Emily, it's not what it looks like, she muttered. The final touch. An email sent by Emily to her friend Lexi. Whisker's birthday party is going to bankrupt Jenna and she won't even know it until May. Silence. My father stood, furious. That's enough. I stood up, too. Oh, we're just getting started. I turned to my mom. So how did Emily feel when she used my credit card to buy herself a new iPad? Or when she called me stupid for getting pregnant on my own? Mom's eyes dropped to the floor. She was speechless. Emily stood up, a mask of fury on her face. You're crazy. You're ridiculous for tearing this family apart. But it was too late. The truth had come out. The moment I looked at her, everything that had been accumulating, all the lies, all the manipulations, finally made sense. This isn't love, Emily, I said, my voice steady even though my heart was pounding. I'm not trying to destroy anyone. I'm trying to stop you from climbing over me to stay afloat. I nodded toward the door. Trevor walked in. Emily froze, her face pale. There was Trevor, the ex she had painted as dangerous, the one she claimed had disappeared after doing something too horrible to name. Calm. Cold. He didn't even look at Emily. He just walked over, holding a folder, and handed it to my father. Emily took a step back. What is he doing here? She asked. Trevor did not spare her a glance. He turned to my father and handed him the folder. Inside was a statement, screenshots of bank transactions, and a message from Emily threatening to destroy Trevor's career if he left her. And then there's the restraining order, which she had never told anyone about. The truth she had tried so hard to bury. Dad turned the page slowly, reading it. Mom looked over his shoulder. Emily's hands were shaking. This is a setup, she screamed. This is stalking. Trevor finally looked at her, his expression blank. You told your family that I hurt you. You told my work that I was unstable. You posted pictures of me as a child and labeled them villain. This is who you created. Emily's eyes widened, and then she burst into tears, real tears? Maybe. But who could tell at that moment? After everything that had happened, tears did not move me. My mother was the first to break the silence. This can't be real. I turned to her, unfazed. You always said Emily needed protection. Maybe you were right. But did you ever ask who she needed protection from? I looked at Dad, the man who had once claimed I was cruel for cutting them off. He nodded slowly, as if he knew what was coming next. Well, I continued, just know that the next time you tell people you have 2 daughters, you're lying. I picked up the hard drive and put it back in my bag. Emily was sobbing louder now, desperate. You're destroying us. No, I said, keeping my cool. You did this. I'm just turning on the lights. I turned to Trevor. Thank you for coming, I said. He nodded once and walked out. I looked at my parents one last time before heading for the door. Say hi to Whisker, Emily, I said, and the words cut through the room with a chill. You'll have plenty of time to grow closer. I walked out. This time, no one followed me. They thought that was it. The scene in the restaurant, the projector, Trevor's folder, all of this was just the grand finale of my turning point. But they had no idea. Because it was only the first act. The next weekend, I made a video. It was simple. Calm. No drama. No tears. Just me in my living room with neutral lighting. The framed ultrasound photo behind me is a quiet testament to a life that was about to change everything. A few months ago, my family skipped my baby shower to celebrate my sister's cat's birthday. That was just the beginning, I said, telling the audience about it all. Photoshopped threats. Stolen money. Edited audio recordings. PayPal traces. Emily's ex-boyfriend's file. That's it. No names. Just facts. No faces. Just screenshots. No revenge. Just the evidence. Ultimately, this video is not about eliciting sympathy, I said, holding the camera steady. It's a warning. Because some people will call it love while they suck you dry. And when you stop letting them, they'll say you've changed. I clicked upload. Within 48 hours, it had 320,000 views. A week later, 1 million. The comments started pouring in. My mom did the same thing to me. You missed your childhood party for a cat? This is not a family, this is a cult. Identify yourself, I'm Whisker. The messages kept coming. Journalists, therapists, content creators asked for cooperation. DMs. So many DMs. People were begging me to tell more, sharing their own stories. I couldn't believe it. And then the merch appeared, no more favorite daughters. My first straw was a white sweatshirt with black text, first children are important. Even human ones. It was sold out in 4 hours. And then my mom appeared. She posted a 4-paragraph status on Facebook. It's so sad when one lie destroys a lifetime of love. My daughter is very pregnant and very emotional. Please pray for us. I didn't reply. Then Emily posted a TikTok with a crying filter in a dark room, holding Whisker in her arms. Some sisters carry babies, others carry rage. The comments were cruel. They fried her alive. The next day I received a letter demanding that they stop. It was typed in Word. Without a lawyer's signature. They accused me of emotional defamation and destruction of personality. I also published this. The signature was as follows: apparently, telling the truth is now illegal. Who would have thought? In the comments, people were confused. Emotional slander? Tell Whisker to hire a lawyer. If you get sued, blink twice and we'll raise the money. Within 36 hours, the video had 1 million views. I created a channel. No more favorite daughters. Offers from brands poured in. The messages kept coming. One handwritten note from a woman in Florida read, "Your story helped me quit after 14 years of being an emergency contact but never getting invited." I did. Thank you. I cried when I read that. Meanwhile, I was building my own apartment, 2 bedrooms, sunny, with real parquet floors. The children's registry, now public, and thousands of strangers sent gifts. One note read, "Your child deserves a village. Since your family didn't show up, we did." And then, the best part, remember the savings account that Emily was trying to drain? I turned it into a scholarship fund for single pregnant women starting over. The first grant? $1,847.22, that's how much she stole from me. I called it the Whisker Foundation. Because the first children are important. My mom saw it. How do I know? Because she wrote me an email from her account. The subject line? "You've gone too far." The message read, "What happened to privacy and forgiveness?" I didn't reply. And Emily? She sent a message too. I was just hurt. That's why I said all this. "Whisker misses you." I replied, "Good. He's the only one I miss." The story came full circle. And now the world knew the truth. I could forgive. But I wasn't going to forget. So I blocked it again. 2 days later, a woman from the local newspaper contacted me. She had seen my video and wanted to include my story in an article about modern alienation. "What will be the headline?" I asked. She paused and then said, "When blood is not family, but the internet is." I didn't hesitate. I agreed. The article came out a week later. Guess whose photo they used? Emily's, of course. Wearing a tiara, holding Whisker like some kind of jewel. They put it in the public domain. They called it fair use. My mom called it a lie. My father threatened to sue. And I smiled, because they couldn't stop it. They had started this story. And I was just finishing it. I didn't think about Emily, or my mom, or about Vuzen in his little crown. I thought about how good it felt to know that I didn't know anyone in that room anything. His name is Leo. Not in honor of anyone. Not because of any family name or heritage or forced tradition. Just because he felt strong, fierce. Mine. I didn't tell anyone in my family even after I returned home. Even after I posted a photo of Leo's tiny fingers wrapped around mine, with the caption, "He's here and we're safe." That post received 200,000 likes in a day. Strangers from 5 continents sent messages. Someone crocheted him a blanket with little lion cubs. Another sent a children's book, When the Village Finds You. I didn't cry until 3 in the morning. Not because I was depressed, but because it was quiet. And for the first time in my life, I realized that I didn't have to explain anything to anyone. My mom tried to come back. She sent a voicemail, no greetings, no how are you. Just, I hope you remember that no matter what you say, blood is blood. You'll regret not letting us in. I didn't answer. I forwarded it to the woman from the newspaper. They were doing the next article, Arranged Grandparents Are the Other Side of the Coin. I thought they could use some fresh material. Then a postcard came. An ordinary envelope with no return address. Inside was a photo of Visker wearing the bandana of Big Cousin. The words were glued to it, "He deserves a grandmother." I even laughed out loud. Then I put it in Leo's memory box in the Clown Moments section. The next week, my phone rang. An unknown number. It was a voicemail. It was my father. "Listen, I don't care what you think, but if this kid ever wants to know about his grandfather, I'll be here. Just make sure he knows who helped build this family.